Hey guys, let's start with the lesson and just play the chord progression again. And you need a few chords for that progression. Let's go through them. The first chord we're gonna play is a pretty modern sounding neo-soul chord voicing, and it's a A minor 11 chord. Sounds like this. And for that you gotta play on the 5th fret low E string, the root note, with your second finger. With your third finger you're gonna play on the 5th fret D string, and with your pinky you're gonna play on the 5th fret G string. And with your first finger you're gonna play the 3rd fret on the B string. And there you go, you have your A minor 11 chord. The second chord we're gonna play is a C major 11 chord, sounds like this. And you usually start the chord with something like a snap or like a hammer on with your pinky, and that's a pretty cool embellishment to incorporate some chord melody. And for that C major 11 chord you gotta play the root note on the 8th fret low E string with your second finger. With your first finger you actually have to play a little bar starting from the D string on the 7th fret. Play a little bar. With your third finger you have to play the 8th fret on the B string, and with your pinky you play the 9th fret on the G string, and with that pinky you can play that hammer on pull-offs to give that chord some embellishments. The next chord we're gonna play is a pretty modern, poppy sounding, open sounding voicing of a major 7 chord, and in this case we're gonna play a F major 7 chord. Sounds like this. And for that you have to play a bar starting from the A string on the 5th fret. You have to play a whole bar to the high E string, and with your pinky we're gonna play the root note of the chord, the F note, so that will be the 8th fret on the A string. And with our third finger we can do the embellishments with hammer-ons and pull-offs on the 7th fret D string. And I'm actually plugging the whole chord with that finger picking technique I showed you in the last chord progression tutorial. You can check that out if you want. The next chord we're gonna play is a pretty standard chord. It's a D minor 7 chord, sounds like this. And for that we have to play that bar again starting from the 5th fret A string, and we have to play with our third finger on the 7th fret D string, and with our second finger we're gonna play on the 6th fret B string. And we actually start that chord with the embellishment too. You can let go of your second and third finger and you have that kind of chord shape. And that's actually how we start the chord, with the snap again. And that's another really cool chord embellishment you can use if you play around with minor 7 chords. The next chord we're going to play is a dominant 11 sus2 chord. And that's a pretty standard chord, typical chord for dominant chord in neo-soul guitar. And you have to play it like that with our, it's a G dominant 11 sus2. So we have to play with our third finger on the 3rd fret low E string, playing the root note. In the 7th we're gonna play with our pinky on the 3rd fret D string. With our second finger we play on the 2nd fret G string, and with our first finger we're gonna play on the 1st fret B string. And then we just do a little embellishment. We let go of our first finger actually on the 1st fret B string. And then we have something like a dominant 7 add 9 chord. So we're actually playing these two chords. and then we go back to our A minor 11 chord. So now let's talk about the licks I play in between the chords. Let's start with the first one. So the first chord we're gonna play is the A minor 9 voicing, sounds like this. And for that we have to play a bar on the 5th fret starting from the G string, playing on the B string and high E string, a little bar with our first finger, and with our pinky we play the 9th of the chord on the 7th fret high E string. And we're actually playing the low A string, the root note of the chord, the low A, with our thumb simultaneously. And with your pinky you can do that little embellishments on the chord. We actually start that lick with a little hammer on to the 9th. Next chord we're gonna play is an inversion of the A minor 7 chord, sounds like this. And for that chord we have to play with our first finger a bar on the 8th fret G string and 8th fret high E string. With our second finger we play on the 9th fret G string, and with our pinky we play on the 10th fret high E string. And that's the inversion of the chord. And then we actually slide back into the chord, into the A minor 9 voicing. Next we're gonna play the C major 11 chord I just showed you. Starting with that hammer on we're doing with our pinky. And right after that hammer on, we're just playing the B string, and then we're doing a slide from the 9th fret to the 7th fret. And then a pull off where we're landing on the 5th fret, everything on the G string. Next chord we're gonna play is the F major 7 chord voicing I just showed you. And now we're incorporating a neo-soul kind of lick, pentatonic style neo-soul kind of lick. And for that we're gonna play on the 5th fret D string, followed by the 7th fret. And then we're gonna play the 5th fret on the G string. And then right afterwards we're gonna play the 7th fret D string again. And then we're gonna do a little slide from the 7th fret G string to the 9th fret. And then we're gonna play a technique called neo-soul slides. If you do not know what neo-soul slides are, I have another lesson about that technique, you can check it out if you want. And now we're gonna play that technique on the 5th fret G string. We're actually just gonna do a really kind of fast kind of slide right there. And then we just finish off the lick with the 7th fret on the D string again.